Coming to you from the studios at the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66, it's the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast.
Roll Chicago, rock and roll Chicago, my hometown. Well, I was born in the city, gonna rock your city, Chicago. Chicago rock and rollers are the best here out around.
Hey everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this is Hollywood. Michael, how you doing, Ray?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing fantastic, too.
Good. We finally figured out how to set the mixing board here at the podcast.
I know. We can hear our radio voices loud and clear.
We sound really good.
Free of the massive compression in the whole bit.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, we can almost harmonize together.
Almost.
I know. Harmonies harmonies are so important.
They're
They're like the fresh summer breeze.
Yeah, the thing is, if you don't have good harmonies, people are going to forget you like the breeze.
I know.
You'll be
Exactly.
gone.
That's right. Do we have any good harmonies?
We do.
Yeah, where?
Right across the table from you.
Oh, everybody. We've
Don't
got
look at me.
Yeah, not you.
Not me.
We've got Harmony in the
We
studio.
have Harmonie
everybody.
Breeze.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We deactivated our applause.
No, we didn't. There.
Harmonie Breeze.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful.
I think with a name like that, you only had one choice to go into music.
Honestly, yeah.
Is that your real name? Really?
Yes, it is. People always think I'm lying about it and stuff. They're like, no, it's a stage name. You made that up. But it's on my birth certificate. It's been my name my whole life. And music's always been a part of my life.
Right.
I don't know. I kind of did a lot of things growing up, but I feel like the name being Harmony kind of just manifested music to be my calling in a way.
Yeah,
So
you were willed into it.
Yeah,
is what it
kind
was.
of.
Yeah, you're the second person that has a perfect name for music. I think I was in Vegas one time and met a fantastic singer. Her name is Sage Waters.
Oh,
Yeah,
Cool.
that's really cool.
That's her actual name.
Yeah.
So it's you have two choices: singer, or you own a little tea shop that sells olive oils or
Sage
something
and
like that. Yeah.
water.
Right.
It's gonna be some kind of tea. Teas are just leaves with water in
Right,
it.
right,
So.
right. So we don't have cameras or anything set up, so we should probably just say that Harmony is a young person,
Yes.
probably way too young to have the successes that you've had in music in the area. So why don't you start there? Why don't you tell us your whole story and everything and how this all started for you?
Music wise, in the area?
Yeah. Well, what got you into it, other than your name?
Well, I kind of started doing musical theater and stuff. I started lessons when I was 5. I was doing all sorts of things like theater. I did acting, modeling, all that growing up. I ended up doing commercials. And as I went on with theater, I kind of realized that I liked the music part more than I liked the dancing. And I just started listening to bands and being really invested in guitar and stuff. So I think when I was 11, I was okay, I want to really focus on music and I want to learn more about it, how it's created, how to make my own music. And then it just spiraled into craziness.
Wow.
Now here I am.
Okay. Were you a singer first?
Yes.
That kind of came along with the musical theater and everything?
Yeah, I started singing before anything. My mom kept trying to put me in piano lessons growing up, but for some reason I was really bad at practicing. So I just think singing was always the biggest thing for me. And then after a while, I was okay, guitar seems more interesting than piano. I was just never really good at sheet music, to be honest. I didn't want to sit down and oh, what do these dots and lines mean? No, I more so wanted to feel it out because that's how I always did it vocally. It was just feeling out how to make the noise, I guess, with my throat and whatever.
Right.
So.
Right. So where are you originally from? Are you from the area?
I'm from Illinois.
Okay.
I was technically born in Morris, but I grew up in the Chinook area, so Grundy County. But we moved to Crest Hill, Joliet area when I was about 8 or 9.
Okay.
And then we've just stayed in Joliet.
Okay. Where'd you go to high school?
I was homeschooled.
Oh, were you really?
Never been to school before, ever.
Ever, never.
ever. Never, ever. So.
That's cool.
What district are you in? Where would you have gone?
It's kind of weird. I live in because the Joliet, I guess, district lines are weird. I think half of my neighborhood would go to Joliet Central and then the other half would go to West.
Okay.
So one of those two schools. I'm not positive. But
Right. No kid.
something like that.
So, I mean, there's a reason why I'm asking all of those personal questions because I've actually been wanting to meet you for a long time. You probably have no idea who I am, but you have a lot of friends and you know a lot of people that I know.
Really?
And I kind of kept it a secret. So I've known Joe Leja for years and years and years and years.
Oh,
He's actually come on the podcast. We interviewed him not too long ago. Yeah, Nathan Liberty.
Nathan Liberty, I love that kid.
Yeah.
I love Joe
Nathan
too.
Yeah, we had Nathan here when he was the guitar player with Don't Matter to Me, and we know everybody in Don't Matter to Me and the whole bit. So yeah, I've seen you performing. I've seen videos of you and stuff online performing with people that I know, and that's why I was so excited to have you come on the show. I wanted to go out and see you in person when you were at Sable Creek Winery.
Yeah.
Because the houses that you can see, if you're standing in the parking lot of Sable Creek, the houses that you can see, that's my subdivision.
Really?
Yeah. And I just performed there myself a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Sable Creek.
Yeah, our paths just have not been able to cross because whenever you're playing, I'm playing, and we haven't been able to meet up yet. So
I noticed that happens a lot. Like there's a lady named Colleen Wild, and I see her everywhere.
I know Colleen too. Yeah.
And everybody knows her, but I've never actually like crossed paths with her.
Yeah.
But she's like a really amazing musician, and everybody knows her. And they're like, "Don't you know Colleen Wild?" And I'm like, literally never met her.
Never met her.
But like I see her everywhere, and she's really great.
I know she has blue hair.
Yeah, she's really cool. Blue hair, cool songs.
Yep.
Just
You know everything about her, but never met her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually met her at the studio. I used to host the Sunday jams at the studio.
Oh, nice.
Before a few things changed over there, and it's under different management and everything now. But yeah, I met Colleen over there for a while. So yeah, we know a lot of the same people. So I wanted to, if I couldn't see you perform, I at least wanted to get you in here and have a chat.
yeah,
with you real
officially
quick.
meet you, and then
Yeah.
we could have like bigger conversations, longer ones.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So where was like the first place you started playing around here after you've decided you're going to sing and play guitar? When did you? Where did you have your coming out party? I guess is the best way to put it.
So I started doing open mics before I had a gig, and my first open mic was at Black Dog Vinyl,
Yeah.
at least around here. I had played one gig before that on my own. It was for like the anti-animal cruelty, and it was at like Wrigley Field. And that was just kind of for fun. I was doing it here or there. I was just kind of testing the waters, especially like playing acoustically on my own. But I started with the Black Dog open mics, and then he offered me one of the record store days.
Wow,
and
yeah.
then it just kind of spiraled into more. And then I think my second gig was... It was at one of those Lockport ones, Nick and Ivy's.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, so my second one, I believe, was there. But I had like quite a few at Black Dog beforehand. And now usually I do the record store days like almost every year for them.
Right,
So it's
right.
been really fun with that.
Right. And you know, now that you're saying that, there was a night where Joe actually invited me to go to Black Dog because he was going to be, I love his songwriting, and he was going to debut a couple of new songs. So I showed up late one night, and you were literally getting off the stage. Joe was playing guitar with you. And you were literally getting off the stage. I had about 30 minutes. I had a beer and I took off, and I really didn't speak to anybody except for Joe. But I was sitting at the same table with, do you know Charles Pelkey? Who goes there quite a bit. Yeah, I was sitting at the same table with him, but it was a night that you were performing with Joe.
Wow. Just missed it like that.
Absolutely. So who are your big influences? Who do you listen to?
Ooh, I feel like I have such a wide variety of like people that I listen to. Like my Spotify rap this year was so weird. It was like Tim McGraw, Chappell Roan, Slipknot, like Aretha Franklin. Like it's just everywhere.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously people like that. I really love the soul music like Aretha Franklin and Etta James. Like vocally.
Right.
Because they're just so talented and they have so much control in their voices. But also I pick up on a lot of like Hayley Williams from Paramore or like Gwen Stefani from No Doubt. She has that really like crazy vibrato. I feel like I picked up on that too. So those are some huge inspirations that I feel like you can kind of hear when I'm singing.
It sounds like you're influenced by singers that are from like the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s.
Yeah,
and then
older.
then you jump to like the 2000s.
Yeah.
There's like nothing in between there. So it's like you're skipping over your whole, I guess, personal era of music with your vocal influences.
Yeah, I guess so.
Why? Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think just based on what I grew up around, I think my parents had two kind of super different musical like kind of tastes, and they were from like two completely different eras. So that's kind of just what I've always known. And I've like adventured out to kind of listen to other artists, but like in the end, I feel like I just grew up. So I'm so like used to listening to that music that I grew up in that sort of way with the influences that I have. So
Right. You know, I don't think parents quite understand the influences that they have on their children.
No, they don't.
When it comes to music. No. they really don't, because every time we ask that question, it's always, well, it's my mom or my dad or something. It's always the first answer.
That's right.
Yeah. So parents, fight to keep music in school.
That's right.
Or in homeschools.
Or listen to good stuff at home. Don't listen to crap.
That's right.
Don't let the kids listen to that.
Yeah. And don't do that yourself.
Yeah. Listen to good stuff.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you, on the way here, I was listening to I don't want to say watching because I was driving. I was listening to like a 15-minute video of yours from Sable Creek. Mm-hmm. But I think it may have been like a 15-minute set you were doing at the open mic that Jesse Perez hosts. And man, I was listening and I found myself saying, I wish I could hear her in person. I wish I could hear her live, and I wish I could hear her without all of these people talking over her.
Yeah.
That is so irritating, isn't it? I mean,
sometimes, yeah.
How do you deal with that?
I just tune it out. I feel like I just focus so much on what I'm doing that I don't really pay attention or even notice it sometimes. Sometimes I do, and then I'm like, oh God, like, is this going bad? But like overall, I try to just like worry about myself and make sure that I'm doing good, because if I'm doing good, then it doesn't really matter what everybody else thinks or is doing.
Yeah. You mostly perform solo, right? You don't have a full band.
I do solo. I dabble with bands sometimes. Like I have a little project with some friends called like Polly, and we do stuff. I also do a lot of like duo or sometimes even trio sets. So I don't know. I really like to collab with other artists. So it just depends on the day and where I'm going, where I'm playing, what I'm doing. Right. So. Right.
Writing a lot of your own music?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I mean, all I've seen so far is covers, so I'm really interested to see what the original stuff would be.
What comes first, the lyrics or the melody?
The melody, for sure. Okay. I've tried to like write with poems and stuff, but then I feel like you just get really tripped up. So if I have like a melody in mind, it's like way easier to figure out like how many syllables of words that I need for the song. So, you know.
There's no right or wrong. It's just that some people are inspired, differently.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take another quick break here, real quick. It's about time we hear your first song.
Awesome.
I'd love to hear you. We get a private performance.
We do.
Yeah. So the first time we are going to be hearing Harmony.
That's right.
Is right here, just the three of us.
That's it, just the three of us.
No pressure or anything.
No
pressure.
Okay. None whatsoever.
We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast.
Hey, everybody, it's Ray the Roadie.
And this is Hollywood Mike of the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast. If you've been enjoying our weekly program, we have great news for you. Just tune in to Road to Rock Radio on Mondays at 7 p.m. Central Time, and you can hear a rebroadcast of one of our past episodes. Then again on Thursdays at 7 p.m., you can hear our most current episode brought to you by the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum on Route 66.
So go to roadtorock.org, scroll down, and click on Radio Station. That'll bring you to the Road to Rock Radio, a station committed entirely to the great music from Illinois, from Chicago blues born on Maxwell Street to today's rock and roll and everything in between. 24/7, all music with its roots in Illinois.
And for the first time tonight, we have Harmonie Breeze here in the studio going to play a song for us.
Mm-hmm. This is a song I wrote with some friends of mine, and it's on Spotify under Polly on the Wall, kind of like a roly-poly. I don't know, we were just trying to write some songs, and my one friend was like, we should try to write a song kind of about like high school, because they're older than me. And I was like 18 when we wrote this, and I'm almost 20 now.
And you had no experience in high school.
I had no experience. For one, I like never even had a boyfriend till I was 18, and they were like, let's write a song about high school love, and I never went to high school.
What's
and
that?
I never had a boyfriend.
never
like,
did prom, never did homecoming, never did any of that stuff. Wow.
Yeah. Wow. So, I mean, they had some input that helped me try to have some inspiration with the lyrics, but overall, this is kind of just my interpretation of it as well. And this is what
I have to ask.
Yes.
Most respectfully, is it just a family philosophy? Some people have a religious belief. What was the reason for being homeschooled? And
I think my parents just grew up in the public school system, and they didn't like it that much. Mm-hmm. And my mom also was having us do like acting and modeling, and that took up a lot of time. Yeah. And it was a lot easier to go on the auditions and do the commercials and stuff without a teacher being like, hey, you missed like 50 days of school. So we could just like do it on the road and stuff. So it was like really easy. We could do it at night after we shot or whatever, like our commercials or things like that.
Right.
So it was more convenient out of anything.
See, I could have been a superstar if my parents would have homeschooled me. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, me too.
Dad.
Me too.
I also probably wouldn't be able to add, but you know,
Yeah.
who needs adding?
That's right. I mean, how many times have you used algebra this week?
Yeah. Right. All right.
All righty.
Well, I'll tell you what. Take it away. I'd love to hear it.
All right. We can take a walk all the while. You let me talk until I run out. Or we can sit in silence and just enjoy having each other around. And when the butterflies float around, my stomach feels like it's upside down. And I wonder if it feels the same to you, or maybe I'm not one that you care about. Two souls, one heart growing apart. Isn't a thought at the start. Two souls, one heart growing apart. Isn't a thought at the start. The phone calls always start after dark. The time of day is my favorite part. I'll always take the long way home so I don't have to end whatever you start. And I'm so wrapped around in a knot. Your finger and you can't even tell. And you can always say if you want it how. Doesn't matter if I feel too left out. Two souls, one heart growing apart. Isn't a thought at the start. Two souls, one heart growing apart. Isn't a thought at the start. 'Cause time for you grew us apart. You never grew out of my heart. And time for you grew us apart. You never grew out of my heart.
Yeah.
Lovely. I like
Very
that.
nice. Very nice. You know, and this is the first time where it's okay. She brought just all dudes with her.
It's all dudes, yeah.
Yeah, normally we have guys in here and they just bring the dudes to applaud.
Yep,
you know, just, you know, everything. Very nice.
Thank you.
So where does somebody who so you wrote a song about school and you know and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So how do you meet people to influence you in that regard, being homeschooled? I'm just curious, where do those influences and experiences come from when they are so different, I guess, than what you're writing about?
Geez, I feel like it's more so like the idea of seeing it in movies out of anything, because I never really experienced anything like
I guess
that.
So you got kind of a weird, distorted version of it.
Yeah,
a little bit.
like at least at first. I mean, of course, like growing up, like now that I'm older and everything,
Yeah.
like 19, but you know, I've started meeting more people and now I've actually had boyfriends and the experiences of it. And like, I think over time, like, even when you're like super young and you have like, little crushes and stuff like that, you kind of get that inspiration. But I think especially being like younger, I was always very shy about having crushes and things like that, which I think where a lot of those lyrics came from of kind of like, like I'm not going to be very outgoing about my feelings or anything. So I think that helped kind of find
an outlook,
some kind of outlook, to like this huge kind of topic that I had not a lot of experience of.
Right.
So, and I think kind of the idea of it being high school love is like when you're in the relationship and you're in high school and you don't really see like, when we go off to college, like we're going to be in 2 different states and things like that. You think it's going to last forever and it's like the best thing in the world. But as you get older, you guys go on like different paths and it's just kind of like, this is not working out anymore.
Right.
So
yeah, I heard a songwriter say something that was actually very profound. And it was, again, a young person like yourself, a boy, about 16 years old, actually. And he says, every relationship that you're in ends tragically until you meet the person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. Okay, that's pretty deep for a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah. Dang.
I don't know if ends tragically is the right way to put it, but it doesn't end well. Let's put it that way.
It never feels good when it ends, for sure.
Right.
So,
That's what's tragic about it.
Right. Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. It doesn't necessarily mean it ends in a bloody train wreck, but
So you said you weren't disciplined enough to play the piano. How did you get yourself to discipline yourself to play the guitar?
Yeah, good question.
Thank you. I got one once in a while.
Yeah, because I feel like anybody can play the piano, but man, guitar is probably the one instrument that people begin and quit more often than anything
because
else.
you pick it up and you go and you say, "Ow, that hurts."
Yeah,
and I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah. Good question.
That is a good question. Honestly, I just started looking up YouTube videos like how to play chords and stuff. And like what's nice about guitar is if you could play like 2 or 3 chords, you can play entire songs.
Yeah.
So it was really easy for me to feel like I was succeeding in it. Whereas when it came to piano, I'd try to like read the sheet music. And then it's like, okay, well, I know how it sounds, so I'm just going to play the keys that I know are right. Actually, my mom thought when I was first like picking up guitar that it was just going to be like a phase. And I had this like really crappy like $50 Amazon acoustic guitar. The strings were like plastic. And I'm like, Mom, I want a real guitar. I want an electric guitar. And she's like, okay, but that's like really expensive and you're probably going to like play it for 2 weeks and like never touch it again.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, how about like if I start learning on this guitar and I show you that I'm working on it, like, can I get one? And she's like, if you like actually stick to it, then yeah. And I spent either like a month or a month and a half just playing this like really crappy guitar. The action was horrible. I think it helped me like overall.
Most definitely.
With chords and stuff.
Yes.
And like every day I would like write down something new and I'd watch like a new YouTube video and I try to learn like a different song every day.
Right.
I think it was like 13 at this point.
What was your first song?
Oh my gosh. I think it was what was it called? I think it was Love at First Sight by the Brobecks.
Okay.
And it was so like obscure and weird because I was like a Panic at the Disco fan and I was like, oh my gosh. And I knew about all the members.
Love that band.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
They were very weirdly a huge inspiration to me at that point.
Yeah.
And the bassist in that band was Dallin Weeks, and he had this project before he was in Panic at the Disco called The Brobecks, and that they have an album on Spotify that's like so amazing. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna learn that because there's like a little start to it that was kind of like a guitar lick,
right?
And I was just very choppily like playing it, but I was figuring it out.
Yeah,
so
right.
It was something like that.
I was watching you play, so the chords in that song that you were just playing, what were the chords in that? Mainly, I think, in the chorus. Yeah, in the chorus.
Oh, the chorus. So it goes A, and then
yeah, but that was a kind of a funky A that you were playing there, though. It was. Oh, I see. You're just using 3 fingers. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just using 3. I don't know. Barring is like I'm not that good at barring. Like, do you hear that? So there you go. But
you were playing some bar chords in there, though.
Yeah. So then I played this, and then up here, what is that? So, like.
That looks like a B some
but
sort.
Like only the fingers right there. I don't know what it's called, to be honest.
That is probably a B7 right there.
So like B7 and then D minor.
Yep,
And then I take the middle off, which makes that like a something.
Yeah.
What is that called?
That looks like a D minor 7.
D minor 7.
Yeah,
There
right.
you go.
So the reason why is because did you notice what, you know where I'm going with this? There's no capo.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's
you're right.
she's actually playing these chords. I mean,
Right.
she didn't pull out the capo. I see that every single time. Think about how many times we've had people in here and they pull,
Yep.
oh, I got to put the capo. Oh, my capo's in the wrong spot. Hold on. Jeez. How about you learn how to play in every key?
Yep.
There you go. Yeah. That's a
you're
good
right.
challenge. I had one of my first guitar teachers ever. Her name was Bailey. She was amazing. I miss her, to be honest, because she was like at the school that I went to, but then I graduated out of it. And she left before I even graduated to begin with, which is not the point. But basically I had this teacher and she was like, you rarely ever need a capo. Like you just got to figure out how to play it
Yeah.
in the right spot.
Right.
And there you go. So I always try to do it without a capo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah. Well, it's, there's people that people are, I get it. There's people that play the G, the D, the C in first position and their hand is strongest there and they're really good at fretting those chords and the whole bit. So my hands don't hurt when I play those 3 chords. So I'm just going to slide the capo up and down the neck. I get it, but you're kind of missing out a little bit on that. So that's great that you're not playing with a capo. Don't learn how to play with a capo.
Okay.
I try to tell everybody, don't learn how to play with a capo. A capo is something that you get to do after you've done your homework and you've learned how to play the guitar.
Everybody has one. I've got one. I never use it.
I know. Well, if you do your own work on your own guitars, if you do your own setups and things like that, you have to have a capo. I mean, I have 2 capos. They're both in my toolbox.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, you will not find a capo in my guitar case. So, but interesting. That's really good. So, where have you been playing lately?
I've been trying to play everywhere. I had a gig at Sable Creek. I had a
That
few
wasn't too long.
scheduled.
That wasn't too long ago, right?
Yeah, that was I think last month.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it was
I'm
after
not
you.
wrong.
I can't remember if it was after me or before me, but I know that you had your own gig there.
Yeah, I
But
think it was
can't-
after.
I can't remember. And actually, it may have been like the week after.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I play at Allie Ann's, which is kind of far. It's in Dwight. I play there monthly. I also play at the Irish Corner Cantina monthly, which is right in Joliet, but like over the bridge.
Right,
so it's hard to get to. And everywhere over the bridge is hard to get to for me, at least.
Oh, so you're on this side of Joliet.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm like, I don't even know if it's 5 minutes away from here.
Oh,
wow.
you're super
Awesome.
close.
Yeah.
And this is your first time here at the museum.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, wow. No kidding.
Surprisingly, because
Yeah.
I've lived over here for like maybe 7 years
Right,
now.
right.
Yeah. We live on, I don't know if you've ever been that way. Well, maybe I shouldn't say where I live on a podcast. Never mind.
Yeah,
you don't have to know.
Let everybody know. Yeah, you probably
I live
don't.
in a nice little house and I like it, and we have a lot of land because we
Okay.
have horse stables and stuff.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a pretty good idea as to where you are then, because there's an area over here where there is a lot of horse stables and stuff.
Yeah. There you
okay.
go.
Yeah. I know. Exactly
And
what
I'm
you're
still in
talking
the
about.
dark.
That's right. Well, we're not going to tell everybody. We just had that discussion.
I know.
Yeah. No, I actually live on the other side of the river, so I know what you're talking about. Irish
Really?
Canteen and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the town of Dwight. I play someplace in Dwight, probably about 6 to 10 times a year or so. And I actually have a date coming up at Allie Ann's. Allie Ann's, we're looking for sponsorship.
Yeah, we are.
For the podcast.
Every week we're looking for sponsors.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And Cherry
so-
Red Roasters.
And Cherry Red Roasters would be a good one too.
sponsor,
That'd be a good sponsor too. But
Both
yeah, I
duking it up
love
in
Dwight.
Dwight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I absolutely love Dwight. Yeah,
It's a nice little town. I've never had like any bad experience being down there.
never.
So
Never.
I enjoy
Well, I should take that back. The only time anybody tried to rob me, I shouldn't say that.
Bum, bum, bum.
Yeah. I shouldn't say the only time, because I had that experience in Minnesota one time too. But the only time anybody's ever tried to rob my band happened in Dwight. I'm not going to say where it
Oh
was,
my
because the place that's there now was not there at the time, and I'm going back probably 15, 16 years or something like that. But yes.
Oh, you're talking about somebody that hired you.
No. I'm talking about somebody that was waiting for us in the parking lot. We were loading up our gear.
Oh.
And he met the base end of my round microphone, the round microphone stand base.
Wow.
so you beat someone up.
Well, no, I didn't beat him up, but he got to see what the bottom of these things taste like. Let's put it that way.
Apparently, he didn't know there's 10 people in that band.
Yeah. Oh no, this was before
before
Cadillac
that?
Groove.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
okay.
just 4 of us. But he was there by himself.
Yeah.
I don't understand what. Yeah. But anyways, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez.
He was there by himself with a stick. You know. So,
Wow.
yeah.
I've never been robbed. Knock on wood. I'm very
we don't-
grateful.
Yeah. But anyways, but no, I love the town of Dwight.
Yeah.
Don't let that tarnish anybody's opinion of it. I do play in a band there, and every time our band plays there, it's like all the stoplights are flashing red. There's no cars on the streets. Everybody
Yeah.
is where we're playing, and they are just so hospitable. I will play anywhere in Dwight anytime they ask me. It's a fantastic place.
Yeah, I think it's nice because it's kind of like a small town, so everybody kind of knows each other and just enjoys each other.
Yeah.
So it's cute.
Yeah. Yeah. When is that Allie Ann's date coming up?
That one's not scheduled yet. We do that a lot, like month of. It's like, hey, you want to play this
gotcha.
date? So I do have some scheduled, like the Gray Mills Estate, I believe, is on the 7th.
Okay. Yeah.
Trip G's is on like the 15th. Black Dog Vinyl 16th, and
Okay.
it goes on and on. If you check my
of
Facebook,
March you're talking.
of March,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
this will be out on March 18th.
Yeah. So anything after March 18th is what we're looking
gosh.
for. Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
if you give me 2 seconds, I can find. I have a whole list of dates. So after March 18th, I'm playing Johnny Cabs for the first time April 5th. And I'm
cool.
so excited.
Nice.
Cool.
I'm so excited for that. Place.
Johnny Cabs. I didn't know they were doing solo artists at Johnny Cabs.
Yeah, so I went to one of their open mics in January, and I guess what they do is they have like whole full bands
Yep.
during the weekends or whatever.
Right.
But before the bands come on, they like to have a little bit of acoustic music
nice.
before it, just
Nice.
to kind of like warm, I think, the people up that are there.
Right.
Because I've seen videos of people just dancing and going crazy there, so it's kind of like the warm up act to the big party at the end of the night.
Yeah, because there's still people eating at like 7 o'clock or whatever it is, and they don't want a full band. Do you know who you're opening up for?
No, I don't know any information about that.
Okay.
Hopefully, I will soon.
Right.
Guess we'll find out. But
Yeah, interesting. No, that'll be a fun show. That's a nice stage and everything there,
yeah.
for sure. Well, I think we need to hear another one.
I think so too.
Yeah, let's
Another
do that.
one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna pause it for just a second while you get set up. All right.
All righty. You're listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago Podcast.
And one more time, we've got Harmonie Breeze.
This is one of my most popular ones. I've had people request it before, and I also just see a lot of people get like excited and happy when I play it. And
Okay.
that's like the most fun thing about performing is when people like are enjoying you.
Yeah.
So
When Ray gets excited and happy, he gets a little creepy smile. Don't let that bother you.
Thanks.
all right. Well, I'm sure his smile is totally fine and is great. This is Signed, Sealed, Delivered by Stevie Wonder.
Wow.
Like a fool, I went and stayed too long. Now I'm wondering if your love's still stronger, baby.
Very nice.
Very nice.
You know, I have to apologize for that. I have to apologize. Yeah, look, see, I told you he gets a creepy smile. See, I came in and I said to Ray, yeah, I saw this video of her. She did this signed, sealed, delivered by Stevie Wonder, and it was at Sable Creek Winery.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, she got about a third of the way through the song before I realized what she was playing, and I think it's because. And you might even know the person that's on this video. If you go on your YouTube channel and watch the video, you might even know the person. But there was this guy just being obnoxious and talking all over you. Like I could barely hear anything you were saying. I could barely hear your guitar. And then right through the middle of the song, he even goes, "Oh shit, I'm standing in front of her phone." And you heard him, you hear him clear as day, as clear as I'm talking to you right now. So
Wow.
all I'm hearing is his voice, and in the background I'm hearing something that sounds like signed, sealed, delivered, I'm yours. And when he realized that he was in front of your camera, do you think that stopped him? No, because all he kept hearing was, "Hey Tommy, give me another glass of wine and give me that." And so nobody.
I'm gonna have to check that video.
Oh,
I
God.
might have to take that down.
So I'm glad you played that one because you know, I heard it and I was like, oh yeah, I barely heard her. She wasn't very strong on it. And then I realized, oh no, that's a really good cover.
Thank you.
That's a really good cover because you were being drowned out by some guy that had way too much wine.
That's right.
Yeah, we got a nice high quality cover. That's really nice. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how much original stuff do you have that you've written? You got enough to put a EP album together or something?
That's the goal for this year.
Okay.
Honestly, I have a really bad habit of like writing things, but I don't finish them. And I feel like kind of like a New Year's resolution for me is to stop doing that. And like once I start something, I finish it till the end, even if it's something that I don't like and I never want to play in front of people, because I don't play my originals too often. I think especially because when I get hired to do covers, it's like, okay, well, they want covers. They don't really want to hear like my original music. So, but I've been wanting to focus on original music more and just finishing those songs that I'm constantly like, oh, this is a good idea. This sounds good together. Okay, but now I have this other idea. I feel like I don't have ADHD, but when it comes to writing, like it's like how I imagine people with ADHD are like. It's like, well, there's this idea and that idea, and I want to do this and I want to do that. I don't know. Maybe there's a better word than ADHD for that because I don't have ADHD. But.
No, every musician has ADHD.
Really?
Yeah, it does. Something shiny goes by, you're distracted. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of it involved with all of us.
Yep. Squirrel.
Yep. Yeah. But no, seriously though, we talk about this all the time. You should finish every song, even if you think it stinks. Finish it. See it to the end because you start to create a habit. Mm-hmm. If you get through a verse and a chorus, and you make it to a bridge, and then you don't know how to finish the song, guess what? You don't know how to finish every single song that you write. You're practicing to do that. Mm-hmm. You've got to get over that.
You can always change it.
Yeah.
You can always come back and change
true.
it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, look, Adam Sandler has made a career on writing corny lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, honest to God, just, even if they're corny, finish the song and you can always go back and change it. You really can.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's okay to sneak 2 to 3 songs in per set. Do 4 covers, 4 or 5 covers, throw in an original. Don't say anything, just do it.
Yeah, see if people notice.
Yeah.
Some people might be like, "Oh, I just never heard the song before."
Or some people think that it sounds familiar or something. And I've had people come up to me and I've played a song because I prefer to write like Southern rock and blues and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I've had people come up to me and say, "Hey, I've never heard that ZZ Top song before." Yeah,
dude, that's awesome, ZZ Top.
Oh, I've heard that song before. No,
yeah, it was,
yeah.
That was off their second album, wasn't it? Yep, that's what it was.
Yep.
Yeah, you just tell them the right.
Yeah,
totally, dude.
Right.
Awesome.
So you have a few shows coming up. Awesome. How can people find you? I mentioned you've got a YouTube channel.
I've got a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a website and it's www.harmoniebreeze.com. Right. My Facebook is the same thing, Harmonie Breeze, but you got to be mindful because a lot of people spell it HARMONY. Mm-hmm. And it is not accurate. My parents spelled my name completely wrong on the birth certificate, but it was totally intentional.
I blame the homeschooling.
Yeah.
That's what it thinks. Yep. AEIOU.
Well, they went to public school, so maybe blame the public school for that.
Phonics. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Harmony, but like plural, but there's no S at the end. So with an I at the end, and then Breeze is spelled completely normal. Okay. So I've got my Facebook on there like that. I've got my Instagram. Basically, all my socials are Harmonie Breeze. Okay. So wherever you want to find me, just put that in and you'll find it.
Google you.
Yeah, just Google me probably, and all of it'll come up.
Okay. Excellent. Well, hey, it was a pleasure meeting you finally.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh,
it was.
finally.
Yeah, I'm going to have to come out and see you when I'm not working.
me
and
too.
vice versa.
I'm sure we'll meet again.
Yes. I think we're Facebook friends.
Probably.
Yeah. Because I think we've got like 36 common friends or something like that. So
Of course we do. This community is so like small and tight knit.
Yes, it is.
You know one person, you know everybody else.
Right.
And if we're not friends, we will be.
We will be. Exactly. All right. Well, thanks for coming in. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks a
and
lot.
Great
Yes,
meeting you.
thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you very much. Well, the breeze has left the building.
The Breeze left the building. I don't know if I'd describe her as the Breeze.
I wonder if she's related to the guy that they call the Breeze.
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Holy shit, Ray. We haven't, the amazing thing is we haven't gone next door and had any bourbon yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah, we're coming up.
I do this sober.
That's dad jokes galore.
That's
Yeah.
right.
No, wow, she was great. I'm glad I got to meet her finally.
Yeah.
She's been doing quite a few things around town.
She has,
I see her all over the place.
I like that she said, she taught herself how to play and she started going to open mic nights.
Yeah.
Which we've told people to do that countless times.
Right.
Get out there, learn how to play in front of people, play with other people.
Yep.
And she did that.
Yep. Well, I think she's overcome the main obstacle. I mean, she's done acting in commercials and television and stuff like that. So getting up in front of the people wasn't the problem for her.
That's true.
It was probably getting comfortable with the musical chops, and she's well on her way for sure. So,
For sure.
Yeah, that was a really good cover of Sign Seal.
It was. It was. I liked that. I liked it.
I was surprised. It was like if Avril Lavigne, did Sign Seal Delivered.
Yeah.
It kind of had that feel to it.
Right.
So.
You got to put your own twist to it, man.
Yeah, that
You don't want
was
to
good.
sing it just like him.
Right.
She didn't even have glasses on. So.
Yeah, she didn't. Yeah.
But that was it. That was Harmonie Breeze, everybody. A lot of fun. Make sure you get out and see her. She's playing all over the place, even in Dwight.
Yes.
So she's making the trip down there. So as always, thanks for listening to the Rock and Roll Chicago podcast, and tune in every Tuesday for another exciting new episode. See you next week.
The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast is edited by Paul Martin. Theme song courtesy of M&R Rush. The Rock and Roll Chicago podcast does not own the rights to any of the music heard on the show. The music is used to promote the guests that are featured.
Rock and roll,